My wife said, "I'm not cheating, I'm just supplementing what you can't give me." I replied, "Okay," pulled our bank statements, and saw hotel charges matching my work shifts. That's when I realized who knew my schedule too well. "I'm holding a coffee cup." My wife just said those words. 17 years of marriage, and this is where we landed. Hey viewers, before we dive into this mess, hit that subscribe button. You're going to want to follow this one all the way through, trust me. Let me back up, because you need to understand what 17 years means. I'm Cale Mercer, 39 years old, mechanical tech at a shipyard in the Pacific Northwest. I work on industrial machinery, hydraulics, welding equipment, the stuff that keeps cargo ships running. It's shift work, mostly swing shifts, and for 17 years I've structured my entire life around getting home to my family. Serafina and I got married when I was 22. She was 21, pregnant with our first. We did the responsible thing. Had a small wedding, moved into a rental, built a life. I'm not going to romanticize it. We weren't some fairy tale. We were two kids who got serious fast and decided to make it work. 3 kids later, 2 boys and a girl, ages 16, 13, and 10. I thought we'd figured it out. I thought we were solid. I was the guy who came straight home after shift. Never went to the bar with the crew. Never entertained the occasional flirtation from women at the grocery store or the gym. I wore my ring with pride. I was a one-woman man in a world that seems to have forgotten what that means. Looking back now, I can see the signs. I just didn't want to. Around year 12, Serafina started talking about feeling unfulfilled. She wanted more excitement, more spontaneity. I tried. I really did. Planned weekend trips when I could get coverage at work. Surprised her with flowers. Listened when she talked about wanting to feel alive again. It never seemed like enough. But here's the thing that's eating at me. My best friend was always there through it all. Daxon Reed. We've known each other since we were 25, worked together at the shipyard before he transferred to warehouse security. He was at my house constantly. Barbecues, kids' birthday parties. The guy I called when I needed help moving furniture or when I just needed to talk. 3 months ago, Serafina started mentioning him differently. Little things. "Daxon's so funny," she'd say. "Daxon understands what it's like to feel stuck." She even suggested we pool money for a joint birthday gift for him and his wife Lyra. $50 each, she said. No big deal. I thought it was nice. Thoughtful even. Shows how blind I was. Last Tuesday, I got a text from an unknown number. Just said, "Check your bank statements, hotel charges, ask your wife about the birthday fund." My stomach dropped. I pulled up our joint account on my phone right there in the break room at work. Scrolled back 3 months. There it was. Charges to a Hilton 20 miles outside town. Twice in October. Once in November. All on days Serafina said she was visiting her sister. The birthday fund withdrawals matched up perfectly. I sat there staring at my phone, feeling my face get hot. Thorne Keaton, one of my co-workers, walked by. "You good, man?" "Yeah. Just need a minute." I wasn't good. I was the opposite of good. That night, I came home and acted normal. Played with the kids, helped with homework, waited until they were asleep. Then I asked Serafina about the hotel charges. She didn't even flinch. "Oh, you saw those." Not denial, not panic, just casual acknowledgement. "Want to explain?" She poured herself wine, sat down across from me. "I've been seeing Daxon." The room tilted. "Daxon. My best friend Daxon." "Yes." I waited for more. An apology. An explanation. Tears. Something. She just sipped her wine. "I needed something you couldn't give me. He makes me feel appreciated." We've been married 17 years. Exactly. 17 years of the same routine, same conversations, same life. I was dying inside, Kyle. My hands were shaking. I put them under the table. "So you fucked my best friend." "Don't be dramatic." Dramatic. She was sleeping with the man I trusted most in the world, and I was being dramatic. "How long?" "Does it matter?" "How long?" 8 months, maybe 9. 9 months. Our youngest's birthday party, Thanksgiving, Christmas. All those times Daxon was at our house. playing with my kids, sitting at my table. He was sleeping with my wife the entire time. I want a divorce, I said. That got a reaction. She set down her wine. Kyle, don't be hasty. We have 3 children, a life. You can't just throw that away because you're upset. I'm upset because my wife is cheating on me. I'm not cheating. I'm supplementing what you can't provide. I stared at her. This woman I'd spent 17 years with, who I'd built a family with, who I'd sacrificed for. She was talking about adultery like it was couples therapy. Get out, I said. This is my house too. Then I'll leave. Kale, wait. She stood up, came around the table, put her hand on my shoulder like we were having a reasonable discussion about refinancing the mortgage. I don't want to break up our family. The kids need stability. I'm proposing we keep everything as it is publicly, but privately, we have an understanding. You can see other people if you want. I won't judge. I looked at her hand on my shoulder, looked at her face, saw absolutely no remorse. You actually think I'd agree to that? I think you're practical. I think you love your children. I think you'll do what's best for them. What's best for them? Like watching their mother destroy their father was somehow in their best interest. I stood up, walked to the bedroom, grabbed my keys and wallet, left without another word. I drove to Daxon's place, rang the doorbell. Lyra answered. She took one look at my face and said, "You know." I know. She stepped outside, closed the door behind her. I'm the one who texted you. I couldn't let it keep going. How long have you known? I found messages 3 weeks ago, on his phone. I was going to confront him, but I wanted you to know first. I'm sorry, Kale. I'm so sorry. Daxon appeared in the doorway, had the nerve to look me in the eye. Kale, man, let me explain. I didn't hit him. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. But I just looked at him. This person I'd trusted for 14 years. This person who'd been in my home, around my children, pretending to be my friend while betraying me in the worst way possible. You're dead to me, I said. Drove home, slept on the couch, started researching divorce lawyers in the morning. Update. It's been 2 weeks since I confronted Serafina. 2 weeks of living in the same house, sleeping in separate rooms, barely speaking except about the kids. I told her I'm filing for divorce. She's still trying to negotiate. Keeps saying we can work it out. We can go to counseling. We can create new boundaries. Like boundaries were the problem. Like the problem wasn't that she'd been systematically lying to me for 9 months while sleeping with my best friend. I haven't told the kids yet. That's the part that's killing me. My 16-year-old knows something's wrong. He's not stupid. But how do you tell your children that their mother chose to blow up their family because she was bored? I've been documenting everything. Bank statements, text messages I recovered from our phone bill. A whole folder of evidence that I'm hoping will matter when we get to court. But here's the twist that made me want to throw up. I was talking to Thorne at work yesterday. Just venting, really. Told him about Daxon, about the affair. Thorne got this weird look on his face. Man, I've been wondering if I should tell you something. Tell me what? Daxon's been tracking your schedule. Like, actively tracking it. He's got access to the shift roster because of his security clearance. I've seen him check it on his tablet, multiple times a day. My blood went cold. Why would he? Because he knew exactly when you'd be at work, when it was safe. It clicked. Every hotel charge was on a day I had a 10-hour shift. Every time Serafina said she was visiting her sister, I was scheduled at the yard. This wasn't just an affair. This was calculated, coordinated. Daxon had used his job, his access, to systematically avoid getting caught. He'd turned his security clearance into a surveillance tool to fuck my wife while I was working to support my family. I felt sick. Actually sick. Had to go to the bathroom and splash water on my face. That night, I confronted Serafina again. Did you know Daxon was tracking my work schedule? She had the decency to look uncomfortable. He just wanted to be careful. Careful. He was using company resources to monitor me. Do you understand how fucked up that is? You're making it sound worse than it is. How is it not worse? You two were operating like criminals, planning, coordinating, using technology to make sure I never caught you. She didn't have an answer for that. I contacted Daxon's supervisor the next day. Didn't tell them about the affair, just mentioned that I'd noticed some irregularities with schedule access. Let them investigate from there. If he was abusing his clearance for personal reasons, that's on him. Turns out I wasn't imagining things. They pulled his access logs. He'd been checking the shift roster an average of 8 times per day for the past 9 months. Way more than necessary for his actual job duties. They're launching an investigation. Serafina called me at work yesterday, furious. You reported Daxon? Are you trying to ruin his life? I reported a security violation. That's all. You're being vindictive. This is about revenge. This is about the fact that he abused his position to facilitate an affair with my wife. That's not revenge. That's consequences. She hung up on me. Lyra texted me later. Daxon's freaking out about the investigation. Serves him right. I'm filing for divorce too. We can be miserable together. At least someone's on my side. The kids are starting to ask questions. My daughter asked why Daddy's sleeping in the guest room. I told her Mom and I are working through some grown-up problems. She's 10. She doesn't need the details yet. But she will eventually. They all will, and I don't know how to explain to them that their mother chose this. That she had a choice. To work on our marriage, to be honest, to put them first. And she chose herself instead. I'm angry, I'm hurt, but mostly I'm just tired. Tired of pretending. Tired of playing happy family when everything's broken. Tired of being the only one who seems to care about what we built. Serafina's still sleeping in our bedroom. I'm in the guest room with a suitcase of clothes and a growing folder of divorce documents. This is my life now. Update 2. It's been 6 weeks. I filed for divorce 3 weeks ago. Serafina's been served. She cried when the papers arrived. Big, dramatic tears. Told the kids I was tearing the family apart. Our 16-year-old son looked at me like I was a stranger. I wanted to tell him the truth right then. Wanted to explain that his mother had been cheating, that she'd proposed an open marriage like it was a reasonable solution, that she'd betrayed everything we built. But I didn't, because he's 16 and that's too much weight to carry. Instead, I said, sometimes grown-ups can't work things out, but this doesn't change how much I love you. He went to his room. Hasn't really talked to me since. My lawyer's good. I found her through a guy at work who went through something similar. She's building a case based on adultery, which still matters in our state. The hotel charges, the phone records, the documented timeline of lies. But here's where it gets interesting. I froze our joint accounts last week. Not out of spite. My lawyer advised it to prevent asset dissipation. Serafina can't access the money we've saved, can't make large purchases, can't keep funding her new lifestyle. She called me screaming. How am I supposed to pay bills? Buy groceries? You're financially abusing me. You can get a job, like you should have done years ago instead of spending my income. I raised your children. You did. And I paid for everything while you did it. Now you can support yourself. I hung up. Felt good, honestly. First time in weeks I felt like I had any control. 2 days later, Lyra called me. Kyle, you need to know something. Daxon broke up with Serafina. I paused. What? He broke up with her. Said he's not trying to take care of someone else's wife and 3 kids. He wanted the affair, the excitement, the secret, but he didn't want the reality. Now that you've cut off the money and filed for divorce, she's not fun anymore. She's a liability. I started laughing. Couldn't help it. The man who'd betrayed me, who'd systematically planned to fuck my wife behind my back, who'd used his job to avoid getting caught, he bailed the second things got real. Serafina's devastated, Lyra continued. She really thought he'd leave me for her. Thought they'd start a life together. She didn't realize he was just using her. Poetic justice. It really is. She's been calling him non-stop. He blocked her number. After we hung up, I sat in my truck in the shipyard parking lot and just breathed. For the first time since this started, I felt something other than pain. Not happiness. I'm not there yet. But relief, maybe. Or validation. Serafina had destroyed our marriage for a man who didn't even want her once the shine wore off. She'd thrown away 17 years, 3 children, and a stable life for someone who saw her as entertainment. That night, she tried to talk to me. Came into the guest room where I was reading. Kyle, I made a mistake. A huge mistake. I see that now. I looked up from my book. Okay. I want to work on us. Really work on it this time. Counseling. Whatever you want. I'll do anything. You wanted an open marriage. You can have one. With someone else. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was confused. Lost. You needed Daxon, and now you don't have him. That's not my problem. You're really going to throw away 17 years. I closed my book, set it aside, looked at her directly. I'm not throwing anything away. You did that 9 months ago when you started fucking my best friend. You did that every time you lied about visiting your sister. You did that when you suggested I should date other people so you could keep your lifestyle and your affair. This isn't on me. The kids need both parents. They'll have both parents. Just not in the same house. Because I'm not raising them in a home built on lies. She left crying. I went back to my book. My coworkers have been good about it. Word got around. It always does in places like shipyards where everyone knows everyone. Thorns had my back. A few other guys too. They've made sure I'm not working alone, not spiraling. One guy, older mechanic named Frank, told me, "First year's the hardest, but you'll make it, and you'll be stronger for it." I'm holding on to that. Daxon's investigation concluded. They didn't fire him. Technically, he didn't break any laws, but he's been moved to a different shift and different facility. Lost his seniority, lost his security clearance, lost the respect of every man who knew what he did. I saw him once in the parking lot 2 weeks ago. He tried to approach me. I kept walking. He called after me. "Kyle, man, I'm sorry. I fucked up. I know I fucked up." I stopped, turned around. "You didn't fuck up. You made a choice. Every single day for 9 months, you chose to betray me. That's not a fuck up. That's who you are." Left him standing there. Final update. It's been 4 months since I filed. The divorce is moving forward. Serafina fought it at first, tried to claim I was being unreasonable, that we should try counseling first. But the evidence was overwhelming. Her lawyer eventually advised her to settle. We're working out custody now. I want 50-50, but I'll fight for more if I need to. My kids deserve to know the truth eventually, and when they're old enough, they'll understand why I did this. Serafina's living with her sister now. The woman she claimed to be visiting all those times she was actually at hotels with Daxon. Irony's not lost on me. She got a job at a retail store. First time she's worked in 16 years. I heard through the grapevine she's struggling. Not my problem anymore. Daxon and Lyra's divorce finalized last month. She got the house, most of the assets. He's renting a studio apartment on the other side of town. Apparently the guys at his new facility know what happened. He's not making friends. I'm still in the house with the kids for now, trying to maintain normalcy for them. My 16-year-old's coming around. He's old enough to sense that there's more to the story. My 13-year-old's angry, but he's always been a mama's boy. My 10-year-old daughter just wants everyone to be happy. I wish I could give her that. I really do. I'm not dating. People keep suggesting it, keep saying I should get back out there. But I'm not ready. I spent 17 years with one woman. Built a whole life around her, discovering that life was partly a lie. That's not something you just move past. I've been going to therapy. Court mandated at first for the custody evaluation, but I kept going after because it helps. My therapist asked me last week what I learned from all this. I told her the truth. I learned that loyalty's only valuable when it's mutual. I learned that forgiveness without boundaries is just enabling. And I learned that sometimes the people you trust most are the ones who hurt you worst. She nodded. And what are you going to do with that knowledge? Protect myself. Protect my kids. Build something real this time. I'm sitting alone right now in my living room. Kids are asleep. House is quiet. I've got a beer and I'm watching some documentary about deep-sea welding. Used to be I'd save shows like this for when Serafina was out, because she hated them. Now I can watch whatever I want. Whenever I want. It's a small freedom, but it matters. I'm not going to lie and say I'm thriving. I'm not. Most days I'm just surviving. Getting the kids to school, going to work, coming home. Repeat. But I'm surviving on my own terms now. Not in a marriage held together by lies and convenience. Serafina texted me yesterday. Do you ever think about what we had? What we could have had if you'd just been willing to try? I didn't respond. What's the point? She still doesn't get it. Still thinks this was about me not being flexible enough, not being open-minded enough to accept her affair as just another lifestyle choice. She doesn't understand that she didn't just cheat. She partnered with my best friend to systematically deceive me, use technology and planning and coordination to make sure I never found out, suggested I should date other people so she could keep the stability I provided while getting excitement elsewhere. That's not a cry for help. That's not a mistake. That's calculated cruelty. My kids will learn the truth eventually. Maybe when they're older. Maybe when they ask. But they'll learn that their father chose dignity over comfort, chose honesty over convenience, and maybe that'll matter to them. Maybe it won't. But at least I'll know I did the right thing. Daxon's gone. Serafina's gone. 17 years are gone. But I'm still here. Still standing. Still fighting for my kids and for some version of a future that doesn't include betrayal and lies. That's enough for now. It has to be. Someone at work asked me if I'd ever trust anyone again. I told him I don't know. Trust takes time to build and seconds to destroy. Mine was destroyed systematically over 9 months by 2 people who knew exactly what they were doing. But I also told him this. I'd rather be alone and honest than partnered and living a lie. My kids deserve a father who models self-respect, who shows them that loyalty matters, that actions have consequences. So here I am, 39 years old, single, co-parenting 3 kids with a woman I used to love, working swing shifts at a shipyard, living in a house that feels too big and too quiet. It's not the life I planned, but it's real, and after 17 years of living in a fantasy where my wife was faithful and my best friend was loyal, real is all I want. Thanks for following this story. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Drop a comment below. Was I right to walk away, or should I have tried harder to make it work? Would you have done the same? Let me know. And to anyone out there going through something similar, you're not alone. It gets better. Maybe not today, maybe not next month, but eventually you'll find solid ground again. I promise.